Greetings and salutations, I'm Keb, you're you, and this is Pharaoh. And it looks like we might be coming up on the end of the Giza map. Might be leaving the plateau of Rostja. Or Giza. Shall see, I think this is the last load of stone needed. And it's all a matter of carving out a pyramid. And we're on to bigger and better things. Well, better things maybe. I don't think they get much bigger than this. At least at the top of my head I don't recall any map that has as much in terms of monument rating as this map does. And we've been here for a while now. But I didn't warn you that this map would take a long time. But ultimately it has taken less time than I thought it would. I'm fairly certain I struggled more with this map back in the day. Guess we'll find out. Yeah, you want... I don't care, Pharaoh. I cannot give you meat. There just isn't any in the city. There really isn't. I think this is why I failed so much on the original playthrough back in the day. I completely failed to provide Pharaoh his meat, and therefore he got pissed, and rating tanked. That's what's going on right now. So I guess we'll try to make sure that it doesn't fall further. So we're gonna go and stockpile game meat. Suppose I should have done that earlier. He only wants like 300 slabs. It shouldn't take forever to deliver. Indeed, that's it. Here you go, Pharaoh. Stop starving your people now. Okay, let's go back in and undo this. Let's see if we can find meat. That's on the top side. No stockpiling. And we're good to go. Here we go. Time to cut out the pyramid. Headless Sphinx on our left there. Because of the graphics glitch. Maybe I should scoot the camera a little bit. I do want to see the Sphinx, right? There we go. Now we don't see the rump of the Sphinx. There we go. Now we can admire the Sphinx while we wait for the pyramid to be carved out. And then we can try to think of what's going to come next. If only I knew the line of succession of Egyptian pharaohs. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that Egyptian school children don't have to memorize that entire line, because I think that's probably a bit too archaic even for them. And there are probably too many of those names, too many names even for them. And honestly, I don't know. I mean, in later eras, I mean, I've played EU4, so at that point you get the dynasty of the Mamluks. Before then you have the dynasty of the Abbasids? No, that's not in that region, is it? I don't remember. I haven't played Crusader Kings 2 enough to memorize the royal houses of that area in that time period. What I'm getting at, has there been any population migrations in that part of the world? I mean, England, for example, has been invaded like 4 or 5 times, and the population has been replaced in many areas. Or supplanted. Anyways, there we go. Rating has gone up. Because you have the Celts, and the Angles, and the Saxons, and the Normans. You have the Danes. A lot of peoples visited, shall you put it like that, the British Isles, and left their mark on it. But I'm wondering if that same thing happened to Egypt proper. I mean, I'm gonna have to assume that there were some migrations in the area too, but maybe not on the same extent. Oh well. I mean, the main reason why that would be relevant is whether or not you're taught history solely based on geography, or whether your population and religion also matters in. In which case, I mean, all the old Norse kings weren't actually Norse. I think only of the Norwegian kings, I think only the first one was actually non-Christian. I think. I don't remember actually, because the first king was Harald Fairhair, Hårfagre. He was the first one. But I think I don't remember if there's a gap between him and Tryggvason and Haraldsson. There must be. I think there's like a 100-year gap there. Probably were some other kings that were pagan. See how little I know about my own history? Sad. It's the sad truth. Only so much can, you know, be stored in the noggin over time. I've probably dismayed a couple of historians or history teachers by now. I do apologize. But if you can make the kids remember a couple of things, that's probably gonna be good enough. Couple of things, couple of names, and the rest of the stuff you can read up on Wikipedia when you need it. I mean, no, Wikipedia didn't exist when I went to school. But we had encyclopedias. And if you're young, you might not even know what an encyclopedia is. By that I mean a proper encyclopedia. A big honking personal library kind of thing that nearly every household had when I grew up. I think we had like two separate sets of encyclopedias. And each year there would be a new book, an addendum. Because of course information would be updated. A very analog form of Wikipedia, I suppose. Though of course a huge difference is that those books had proper editors and Wikipedia doesn't. Anyone who wants to can go in and edit Wikipedia articles. In theory. There is some oversight, but not enough. Hence you get fake updates to Wikipedia pages every now and then. There has been cases where politicians' pages have been radically changed because of that open-ended structure of editorship. And that's something that wouldn't happen with the old encyclopedias. I don't know if they even sell them still. I'm sure they are being sold. The volumes have to be really small. You know, the world moves forward. And then it goes in cycles. I mean, back in the 80s, a cell phone was a huge brick of a thing. Or a block of a thing, rather. Because it had to be that big. And then cell phones were supposed to be tiny things that fit inside the palm of your hand. And then all of a sudden you wanted bigger cell phones again so you can get a larger screen. Things go in cycles. Way too many things we humans do go in cycles. Or circles. I mean, cycles that isn't necessarily a bad thing. Circles would be a bad thing. Because in a circle you're going in the exact same pattern. Then again, I suppose you have things like the circle of life. Which is kind of a baseline for life. I'm rambling. It's been a long day. So, people are fleeing the city because they are not being fed. We have a huge shortage of workers by now, I suspect. Yeah, health and sanitation is down by 50. Workers are down by... infrastructure is down by like 10, 20. I suppose we'll delete the Stuff's up here. Don't need these anymore. Nor these. Give ourselves some workers. Yeah, that'll have to do, I think. Yeah, we'll have 0 unemployment, so we're still short of workers, but I think we can hang on long enough to finish off carving out the pyramid. Monument score is now at 48, it's only 5 more points needed. Kingdom rating is stuck at 79, that's good. And the other ratings are completely inconsequential. I think there was a population requirement, but we should still fulfill that one. Right, let's just quickly check that. It would suck to lose the map because I don't have enough people. No population requirement at all, actually. So only monuments and kingdom rating matters. As long as Pharaoh doesn't get pissed at us, or remarkably pissed at us, it has to drop by more than 29 points. And I don't think it's going to do that in a matter of months. I mean, we're already carving out the pyramid, so... Employees are needed, yes. We can also check on the gods. We haven't had a party in forever. And they're still congenial, so they're basically stuck there. 133 months since the last party. That's a decade. And I think for fun and games we'll also go and check on the population graph. Yeah, so nearly all the people in the city right now are fresh immigrants. They're age 0, they're not in the workforce, right? I'm basically feeding a whole bunch of people that can't work, if I understand that graph correctly. So eventually we'll have workers again, but it's all gonna take a while, and yeah. There's something about the census in this game that doesn't make sense to me. The whole age mechanics. But again, it could be simply because this map lasts so long. I don't think any map lasts as long as this one. And even though we've had a good progress since it's been 10 decades, or 10 years. 10 years since our last party for the gods, that basically tells us how long this map has been going on. I don't remember when we started. But we've been on this map for like 30, 40 years, something like that. I mean, we'll know when we finish the map. We'll see exactly how many months we've been on it. But we've definitely been here for more than a generation. And that's the problem. You basically hit a boom-bust cycle and everybody ages up and yeah. So while we kept the city stable for so long, at some point our food supply crumbled. I can't quite see how it did that, but it did. And then we have the whole boom-bust cycle. Which is super annoying. Come on, Masons. Run faster. Takes a while to get around the pyramid, but they're getting there. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, keep thumping the mic rack. I'm surprised that that registers. I just noticed that that also registers on the voice meter. Because it shouldn't. Not a sound, it's a vibration. Oh well. I guess the shock mount isn't doing all it's supposed to do. So one of the stonemasons has been on the pyramid the entire time. The other 3 are just walking after him. I think you can never get more than 2 of them to work at any one time, so it doesn't matter if you have multiple stonemasons at this point. So one of them's going to sit here, he's going to continue. The others will respawn and walk up all the way. Yep, here they go. Once they catch up to him, we'll have 2 guys working on the carving process. And the others will just keep walking. It's kind of strange, that whole animation. But we're getting the job done. Look at that nice and smooth surface. Shiny white. The sea strikes, yeah, that's fine. Keep it together. Stay on target, we're almost there. I should probably go check this ranking. Kingdom rating went down by 1 point. Salary is too high for your current stand. What? No, it's not. I lowered my salary. No mark salary. Hang on. Okay. So the introductory sequence told me that I had become a no mark, but apparently I'm still a royal governor. Okay, never mind then. So the rating went down for my own screw up. Well, boo. But I'm fairly certain when he had the introduction sequence for this map, it basically said that I was promoted to the rank of no mark. Apparently that was not the case. Or my memory is wrong, which is probably more likely. Still, we're getting there. I wish I could have gone to Giza in the olden days and seen pyramids in their original glory. Because I believe the limestone is what that whole limestone layer has been eroded away, right? I think so. I think the current pyramids are basically down to their stone cores. I could be wrong there. But at least the images I've seen of the pyramid today aren't really quite as smooth as this one, to put it mildly. Maybe more blocky. Then again, this is a game, so liberties may be taken. And of course we don't actually... I don't think... They haven't fully determined, right, how the pyramids were built. The exact manners of construction. As in the ramps and pulleys and anything that they used. They haven't completely ascertained that, have they? I know there's been many theories about it, and a couple that have even tried to replicate it, so to speak, with old school tools and rollers and, you know, the whole works. But I still think the exact details have been lost to time, haven't they? Ooh. As so many things. There are so many things that have been lost to time, it's really sad. I mean, some of the saddest stories there would be the Library of Alexandria, where we know of, you know, the names of certain playwrights, we know the titles of their plays, but the plays themselves have been destroyed and lost. That particularly applies to Greek plays, I believe. So we know the writer, we know the title, but we don't know what the actual play was. That's very sad. I mean, imagine knowing the title of every Shakespeare play, but not any of its contents. But you might also, like, know that Shakespeare was revered in his time or something. Imagine the loss of that. Not know stories like Romeo and Juliet or Hamlet or any of those. I mentioned those two because they're the only two I remember right off the bat. I mean, there are plays like Othello and all the kingly ones, Richard III and all those. I don't remember those at all. Stories of Shakespeare that stick to my mind are pretty much Romeo and Juliet and Hamlet. And maybe Much Ado About Nothing, I suppose. But at that point, my Shakespearean knowledge kind of fails me. Then again, if there's one play of Shakespeare's that we are force-fed in school, I suppose it's Hamlet. It's the same thing with all authors, isn't it? You're basically taught to learn, or you're taught to remember one book, one play, one poem. Not their entire authorship. Which makes sense, I suppose. But, because we can only remember so much. But obviously they had a much more varied authorship than that. I mean, like Jules Verne, if you know one of his books, that's probably going to be 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Possibly Around the World in 80 Days. But you probably don't want to know the details of, say, From the Earth to the Moon or Captain Grant's Children. Some of his other novels. Oh boy, Pharaoh wants 1,000 wood. Yeah, that would require a ton of imports, and Pharaoh, I don't think we're gonna get that gift. But I don't care. We're gonna finish the monument, I think, before 9 months. I hope. Even if we do, it's not gonna plummet by 30 points, his kingdom rating. It's gonna go down. But not enough to matter, I think. And then we'll be on to a new and improved city, hopefully. A city with food, maybe. No guarantee of that, though. Maybe I shouldn't have bothered with food at all. We certainly can't afford it now. The people dying and leaving. If I could control the city population so that only the old folks would leave, we wouldn't get the whole generational problem. This would probably be much more interesting. But as you can see, nearly all the populations now are young. Between the ages of 0 and 5. And I don't think the 5-year-olds work. I really don't think the 5-year-olds are sent to till the fields. No matter how draconian our labor laws might be. Yeah, I think we're down to 3 more circles around the pyramids. Yeah, 3 more times around the pyramid and we're done. Almost there then. Which means that our score might just pop up to 53 for the done. It's 51 right now. Yeah, 6 months, I know. Yeah, I think we're gonna be done. Or that request times out. We still have a few blocks of limestone in storage. I forgot to turn off imports. It doesn't matter. We have... Whoa! 70,000 debents in our inventory now. Really? 70,000? We do 70,000 in our treasury. Nice. I mean, I suppose that makes sense. We haven't imported limestone for some time now. So our treasury should go up. Okay, 2 more cycles. Point still at 51. It is a gloriously beautiful thing, though. Ginormous pyramid. kind of wish, you know, that this if the game also included the burial sequence. That once you finish the pyramid, the king would come, you know, on his funeral barge and be transported up the causeway. Stuff like that. But of course, if that was the case, you wouldn't get the reward, right? The guy would be dead. He couldn't reward you for completing the mission. I suppose it's for the better. Okay, last round around the pyramid. We should be at 52 points. We're not. 1 point still. Okay, then maybe they fixed the whole breakdown there, so we won't actually finish the map before the pyramid is done. Cool. That works too. A gift from Pharaoh, sure. We don't need it at all, but sure. Someone tell Pharaoh we're kind of done, so we don't need his gifts anymore. I mean, I could delete the pyramid and start over. Then we need the stone. But I'm not quite that mad. Imagine if pyramids could burn. Imagine if they could be torched by a city fire or something. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case in the beta version of this game or something. The kind of fun bugs games usually start out with. Anyways, the pyramid is complete. It is finally complete. And I was going to click on this thing to see how many blocks of stone it contains, but you get the victory screen instead. Okay, I'm going to take a quick break there, I think, and we're going to proceed to the next map and see what's ahead. Time for a break. Thank you for watching.